Sometimes you just want to make a tasty little morsel before a dinner party or just when friends are coming over for drinks. But what do you make?
Well, I'm going to make some arancini balls with some gorgonzola cheese, and afterwards I'm going to make some chocolate truffles.
Something nice and light from Adrian. And I'm going to make Indonesian betel leaves. They're really yummy, really quick and really good for you. So let's get in the kitchen and make some canapes.
Now, Janella, I'll get started because I'm doing the risotto. It takes a bit longer. I'll just pull this stuff out of the bag.
That's for me.
It'll be spicy, lovely.
Yeah, it's Indonesian. It's going to blow your head off.
Nice. I like that. Going to blow my head off. I like that. Now, to start with, I've got my stock already on the boil. And Janella, can you put a nice pinch of saffron in there?
Half?
Just put the whole lot in.
Oh, Adrian.
We're going to make it gourmet. That's chicken stock that I've got on the boil, simmering away so that when I add my rice, I can just get cooking straight away. And risotto is one of my favourite dishes, you know, to serve it hot or cold, or, you know, you can pre-cook it and fry it, which is what I'm going to do with this one.
And any leftovers you can roll up into little balls and bake them. I often do that for dinner parties, make little risotto balls for canapes.
Well, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Is it?
Yeah, the arancini.
Well, you're going to do an arancini and deep fry it stuffed with cheese. Mine's brown rice.
Oh my God, brown rice. There we go. I love brown. Actually, I do like brown rice. I eat quite a bit of it. It takes a bit to cook, but I started using a pressure cooker to cook my brown rice, which makes it cook a lot quicker.
That's a good idea.
A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper in there, a nice bit of a squeeze. And if you can pass me that arborio rice there.
Have you washed that? Not washed that?
No, I don't wash it. I just get my arborio rice.
Makes it stodgy?
It's about 1.5 cups, and I throw my rice in. And what I do is I sweat the rice in the oil with the onions until they're sort of just a little bit white, and that helps it to seal the rice and add some flavour to it. And now here's the bit with the rice.
What sort of stock have you got? Chicken?
I've got chicken stock here. You can use veggie stock, you can use veal stock, you can use vegetable stock, chicken stock, whatever you want to use. I've just got some saffron in there, and you can see how yellow that is. That's going there. Now, with a stock like this in risotto, if you know, you've got about 2 parts of stock to 1 part of risotto. You can add them a little bit at a time, or you can just throw them all in at once like that and let it simmer down. For me, this is quite a simple little dish. I'm going to add it in there, turn it up full blast. I'll keep my eye on it and keep stirring it every couple of minutes, and it'll be ready in about 18 minutes or so. There we go. You can see the risotto's nicely cooked. It's absorbed all that stock.
It's all plump.
Exactly. Now, if I'm going to serve it like this, I'd probably add a little bit more stock just to moisten it down, but I want it quite firm. So I'm going to add just a couple of little knobs of butter.
So we can get plump.
Well, exactly. Just a little bit, though. Normally, I'd add the whole lot of it.
It's true. That's what happens in restaurants with risotto.
That's why it tastes so good. And all you do is a little bit of butter and cheese in there. Turn the gas off because you don't want it to split. Stir it around a couple of times until it all melts beautifully. Just put it into here. We're going to cool it down. It'll take about an hour or so to cool down. There we go.
Oh,
and if you got that, nice
yum.
cheesy bits of goodness. The saffron has made it beautiful and yellow, which gives it a lovely aroma. It'll be ready for the gorgonzola to go inside it, and then all we need to do is fry it, smooth it out like that. You can see that's delicious. I'll pop this into the fridge and we'll come back and make our balls.
Great. Yum.
Cocktail and dinner parties can be so much more enjoyable with a few canapes to start. Think small, 1 or 2 bites, a couple hot and a couple cold. You don't want to fill your guests up, you just want to get their taste buds tingling. There we go. Now, I've cooled this for a couple of hours so it's nice and solid. Now, normally when you make a risotto, you cook it off in the pot, keep adding stock, and then, you know, want it nice and wet so it goes on the plate. But this I want quite firm because we're going to fry it. So what I do with this is with my spoon.
That's why leftover risotto is great.
Exactly. You can make a little bit extra, pop it in there into the fridge. Now, I've got this cheese here. Now, we've been smelling this for a while, and this is gorgonzola cheese, which is an Italian cheese. It's a blue cheese, wet and creamy. It's one of these stinky cheeses, if you call it that, but I think it's delicious. So I've got a little bit of that. I'll put that into the middle there.
It's not on the Weight Watchers list.
It's definitely not on the Weight Watchers list. This is a sometimes cheese, but believe me, it is delicious. And all I do is pop it into the middle there like that, and you can see all the cheese in the inside. And I've got these breadcrumbs here. Now you could yep, just roll that around. You could use semolina if you want, polenta, whatever you want to do, you can roll it in. I've got my oil on here, fairly high, but I've only got a little bit of oil into it. So once you've crumbed them, just pack a little bit more onto the outside of that, throw it straight in. There you go, we'll let them sit for a couple of minutes. They'll be delicious. Janelle, we better get into your dish.
Oh, okay. Beetle leaves coming up. When you're cooking, make sure you taste as you go. Don't just automatically add a whole lot of salt and pepper because that's what you usually do. Some ingredients that you're adding have a lot more salt in them already, like feta or anchovies or capers or olives. So have a little taste, add a little bit of salt if you need to, or don't if you don't need to. And try not to use a salt grinder because you don't really know how much you're adding. Your fingertips have memory, so always use these when you're adding salt. Beetle leaves. Do you know what they are? You know what they are.
Yeah, they're delicious.
They're like this. They're in Indonesia. That's one with a hole in it.
That's a holy beetle leaf.
And that means it's quite fresh and organic and hasn't been sprayed. So we're going to wrap some yummy little things up in these and make a little parcel out of them.
Tastes like beetle leaf. I travelled through India and they actually have little stalls where you put things in them and you just eat them. It's like a snack food.
Yeah, well, that's what these are. So I thought we'd make some little, groovy canopies out of them. So dried prawn. It's noisy, isn't it? About a tablespoon. And then I'm putting some tamarind paste to give it kind of a sour flavour, which is quite Indonesian as well. In it goes. And that's palm sugar, white palm sugar. Give me just a little, or a chop or something, just because it's a bit hard for me to pound. And I'm going to put some peanuts in there. That's about a tablespoon. And I'm going to start pounding that.
How much of this do you want?
All of that. All right, like so. That's nearly there. Adrian, do you want to grab me some mint and coriander from the garden, please? Coconut. Okay, lime leaf. Get the lime leaf. Let's finely shred it. Oh, lovely, Adrian. Can you pick those?
Sure.
That would
Straight
be
into
nice.
the bowl here?
I reckon. Don't you think? Yeah.
Lovely.
Pepper lime leaf. Love that. It's got a really strong flavour. And if you could zest the lime.
Sure. Do you want whole leaves in there? Or just pull the apart a little bit?
Pull it apart a little bit. And chilli. I'm going to put that in with my in my mortar and pestle, as much or as little as you want. I think we want these quite hot.
Oh yes, I love it hot and
I'm going to leave the seeds in. Put that in there too, and I want some fish sauce in there for the saltiness. Okay, so as usual with Asian food, salty fish, sour lime, sweet palm sugar. Okay, pound, 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 pound. And lime juice, Adrian, it's in there?
In there already. Yep.
Okay, so I reckon, and let's have a taste of it.
Exactly.
Want a bit more of that. And Adrian, could you put that in there and give it a toss around?
Sure.
And prawns, little cooked prawns. Yum, that's really good. You can have that ahead of time done, and it will just get better because it will marinate, won't it? Okay, Adrian, I'm going to get you to pick off some really nice leaves and maybe clean the bench a little bit, and we're going to start to assemble.
That's beautiful. Beetle leaf. You just hold it with your thumb and forefinger at the back here. You've got all that lovely goodness there.